All right, so we'll get into the interview. A couple questions came in from some of the other writers of Dodgers Nation, so I'll start there. Somebody had a question about what you have more confidence in, your changeup or your slider, and why.
You know what? I came here like a month late into the season just because I had a little finger soreness. It was crazy for a month of just, feeling some pain there with my changeup, and it was only my changeup. So I just kind of threw that fastball and slider for the longest time while getting that ring finger ready. Mm-hmm. And I really feel confident in that slider now, just throwing it for that, almost getting me over for strikes in the beginning and then having that kind of, bigger, sharper movement, towards later in the game. But I definitely feel a lot more confident with my slider right now. But, that changeup's still there and it's working. I don't really feel that in my finger anymore. So I'm very confident in my changeup too, but mostly the slider.
So the finger's 100% now?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think about it anymore, which is good. It's just, it just randomly went away, which is, needed that.
Unexpected changes between high school, college, and pro ball? Anything, in particular?
Oh, yeah, so big. High school, I just go with fastball. There's no off speeds. I'm like, I'll throw a fastball because I played in a very small league, Class C, class of 60 kids public school. And that was league round. So it's like there wasn't a crazy amount of competition. So I just threw the fastball literally in a really bad off-speed slider. Obviously in college I had to make that change and it took me a little bit. Obviously I kind of got gathered like late into my sophomore year having command of like 3 pitches. And I figured out having a 3-pitch mix. And junior year, it really just hit where I could just have that command with like really just hitting spots with all those pitches and feel like an actual complete pitcher, and that was kind of perfect timing with the draft where, the Dodgers saw a lot of potential, I guess, with that. And now it's just, just pitcher planning. You hit these, you see these guys in the games, like, all right, got to hit these spots here. Here's our weaknesses. Here, what you got to do. And I just feel very in control right now. I kind of hit a nice little streak and going to keep rolling with it.
I looked back at some of your old high school performances. I saw some write-ups in the paper about you, and I saw that you started your high school career 34-0. How was that ride?
That was good. I mean, I never really thought of it like that, but it was just weird how that happened. I just had a great team. I was lucky enough to have a great team behind me with the Hoosick Valley. Like we won a couple state championships in baseball. So it's like I had a lot of support with that and run support for me to do that. And I didn't really put a lot of thought into pitching. I just kind of went out there and threw. I really never really, I don't want to sound like cocky at all, but I never really felt an immense pressure because I knew we were just a great team and I just kind of had to throw and we'd have a lot of run support behind me. So that was just, good to have. That's that.
Favorite team, favorite player growing up?
I was a weird fan. I was just as close to New York City as I was, going to Boston, because I'm upstate New York, kind of close to Vermont.
Yeah.
And I always loved going to Fenway Park to watch the Sox play. And my buddy was from Boston growing up, and he moved to my town, and he always brought me to the game. So I became like a pretty good Red Sox fan. But you know who my idol was? Andy Pettitte. Watching him pitch, lefty pitcher. So I wanted to be like him, and he just happened to have a really good pickoff move too. And I kind of modeled myself, after him, and I even named my dog after him, Andy. So cool. I was an Andy Pettitte fan growing up. I don't know why I was just like, you can't be a Red Sox fan and a Yankees fan. It's kind of weird.
You alluded to it right now. That pickoff move is absolutely filthy. How'd you craft that?
I don't know. I just I had a bad one in like my freshman year at Hofstra, and my coach Habian, my pitch coach at Hofstra, he helped me through a lot of stuff. Just how to be a pitcher, mostly not so much mechanical. But he's like, dude, you gotta fix that. You're a lefty pitcher. You have a opportunity to get a lot of guys out. And so he doesn't make me, but he's just kind of just said, hey, just work on this, every day after throwing, and make sure it's modeled just like you're going home to home plate. And that's exactly what I did. And maybe just something mechanically. I go to home plate, it kind of looks the same as it might just help my move to first base because I'm kind of like. Maybe the way my leg and arm go to home plate, it just kind of helps the way I look to first base, and it's all about the head movement too. So I just modeled it off of it, and did it every day in college, and eventually it just got to where it is now. It got me out of a lot of jams, and there was a lot of complaints from in college, it's like the opposing team and opposing team's parents. It's just like, you love it. You walk off the mound, you get out of some jams, you save some runs that potentially could have happened. And you're like, the only people not complaining about it and the only people not saying it's a balk are the, people on my team and the people that are officiating the game. So I'm guessing the umps are right,
At Hofstra, your first 2 years didn't go as well as your third. How did you do as well as you did? Any changes to repertoire or physique or anything like that?
I think it just was that the Cape Cod League in my junior, my going into my junior year that summer. I think it just put a lot of confidence in me, just saying, you know what, this is where I belong. I belong with just like you're playing with the best kids in college baseball. And it just kind of instilled a lot of confidence in you that next year going in, you're just like, if I can do it here, I can do it there. So I just didn't have the first 2 years. I was just kind of pissed off about it, not having where I thought I should be. I definitely worked a lot harder that summer going in. And I just kind of hit a nice little flow state of just hitting all my spots as a pitcher and knowing what I was, not trying to be something I wasn't.
Have the Dodgers asked you to make any changes, either major or minor, since you've gotten drafted?
They just put a lot of ideas in my head. Here, try this, like a lot of stuff with hand timing going down and leg timing down the mounds, and line to the home plate, and just they didn't want to make a lot of drastic changes because I had a pretty good year that junior year, and then coming into the Great Lakes Loons post college, so it's they didn't want to make a lot of drastic changes because why fix what's not necessarily broken.
Absolutely.
But they're just hey, they want to make but they want to put a lot of suggestions in my head, and there's definitely some stuff I took in, stuff that didn't really click, but it's just a lot of the stuff was pitch development and analytical this year, and just trying to give me an understanding of what needs to be done just as far as a pitcher and planning against these hitters in pro ball.
We're one of the things that they try to stress or analytics. I know you just mentioned that because Dodgers are one of the most forward-thinking clubs in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? Well, at first I was just kind of I can do this. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and then there were some hits that I gave up that were just in these guys' hot zones, and I'm all right, maybe I can just sit down, do some True Media stuff. True Media is the website where you look at all you can see everyone's hitting statistics that I'm facing. So I started doing a lot more research and looking at what these guys are doing and seeing a lot of video, the night before I pitch. And now me and the pitching coach, Mesa, are just kind of in a good rhythm of inning by inning, just pitch planning for what's going on next, just talking about what these hitters do this first time around, second time around. And it honestly has really helped me as a pitcher because I'm a guy that, I'm not going to overpower you with a fastball, but I'm going to, pitch place and mix up pretty well with off speed. So this analytical stuff has definitely helped me.
When you got the call that you were drafted, how did you feel and who were you with?
Oh my God, yeah. I was with a small circle with the parents, and I had some of my close friends with me. I didn't really want a big thing because I didn't really know necessarily when I would be picked. So I didn't want that feeling of just these people are waiting here. I don't want it to be awkward. So I wanted to be to myself, just my thoughts with my, close family. And once it did go off, I'm it didn't really sink in for the longest time. And I was just we were going crazy at the house. It was just in my house with a small, it was just a really small neighborhood. And I probably was, whole neighborhood probably heard us. But, it didn't really sink in until I was with the Loons, and then they flew us out to, that's when it really stuck in, when they flew us out in September to my family and I to go to Dodger Stadium, and actually got to be on the field. And I'm just looking around, just wow, I have an opportunity to be here and, and pitch. So that's just, if you don't have motivation after being there, like, I don't know, you should probably just quit playing baseball, because that was amazing.
That Chavez Ravine is it's an awesome place. It's captivating.
Yeah, it's my first time in California. It was my first time at the field. It was like, you see on TV, you just kind of see like the outfield. You don't see like the front part with it's just a coliseum. It's so many seats, you know.
So talking about the Dodgers organization, what were your thoughts heading in after getting drafted? Like, what was your perception of the Dodgers organization?
You know, I really didn't feel like there was that much attention from the Dodgers. I had like one meeting with them the fall before I pitched my junior year, but it's just like instant. I was just like shocked they picked me, because there wasn't like, I didn't feel like there was too much interest. It kind of kept it low key, but it's just, this is the program you want to be at, just because of, like, you know, it's the LA Dodgers. It's like it's the most prestigious baseball, you know, organization, and they're so up to date with everything, with, you know, just the funding and the care in the minor leagues. It's just the pitcher development is big time.
What has been your favorite moment as a member of the Dodgers organization?
Honestly, that day in September when I went to the field was unbelievable. They just they brought us to Dodge Stadium. They put us in like box seats with some of the other early draft guys, and we just got to be there, be in the moment for like a weekend and hang out, and it was unbelievable.
So tell me about day in the life of John Rooney.
In New York?
In New York, yeah.
Well, New York, it was just you know, I played two sports, played basketball, and loved playing basketball, but obviously I knew baseball. I had that was my opportunity to go places. And, you know, I played like men's leagues. I never really knew how to do like the perfect game showcases or that, so I didn't really have a lot of like attention in college and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I was lucky enough to get some interest from Hofstra, just because I did men's league tournaments, and it was just a whole bunch of 30 and 35-year-old dudes, and then they asked me to pitch, and I just Hofstra was hosting it, so I got lucky to do that. And but yeah, it was just a lot of luck at the right moment to be where I am now.
The one singular thing that you want to perfect most is what, as you know, just to have that seamless transition across the minor league ranks?
There's definitely a lot of things I want to work on to perfect. You know what? Maybe work on a fourth pitch, maybe a cut or a curveball. Maybe a really good slide step with the guy in second base, just to. Sometimes sometimes guys get a good jump on me at second base, because I'm pretty slow to first, slow to home plate. And you know what? Just keep working on that changeup and make sure it's as good as my slider.
We're going to close it out with this one. This was a question from one of the Dodgers Nation guys. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
A hot dog a sandwich. A hot dog is not a sandwich.
It's in his own category.
No way. If someone says they want a hot dog sandwich and they order it from a concession stand, they're psycho. Does someone claim in Dodger Nation that a hot dog's a sandwich?
Yep, many people do. You'd actually be surprised.
I am shocked. Many people do, Freddie. Hot dog is not a sandwich. Write that down. It's in a category of its own, I guess.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
All right. Good luck. We hope to see you with the big club eventually.
Yeah, hope to talk to you soon someday.